Good afternoon. At this time of great difficulty, I want to communicate directly with my constituents in the Royal Town. And today I want to answer three questions. The first of which is, what is the current advice for individuals? In particular, if you think you have the virus, what should I do? And the answer from the experts and from the government is to stay at home if you have symptoms of coronavirus, and you should stay at home for 7 days if you have either a high temperature or you feel hot to touch on your chest or back, or a new and continuous cough. This means you've started coughing repeatedly. You should not go to a GP, surgery, pharmacy or hospital, and you do not need to dial 111 to tell them you're staying at home. So testing for coronavirus is not needed if you are staying at home, and that is the best advice of the Chief Medical Officer and of the government. Now, the second question I want to answer is, what can individuals do to help in this situation? And on an individual basis, you should wash your hands regularly when you've been in contact with others or on public transport, and you should do so for at least 20 seconds. So in the Royal Town, you could sing the first verse of the national anthem, or you could sing Happy Birthday twice. That is the length of time for which you should wash your hands. You should self-isolate if you have any of the symptoms I mentioned in my first answer, and you should shop sensibly to avoid shortages. There's no need for any form of panic shopping. We should just be sensible in the provisions we buy. And you should speak to elderly or vulnerable neighbours to see if they need any support. There is a brilliant community initiative where you can print out copies of a postcard with your details on it and pop it through the letterbox of vulnerable neighbours. And this is what it looks like. This is the postcard which you could print off for vulnerable neighbours or anyone in the local community who you are worried about. You could also, if you're a young person, volunteer for one of our 2 local food banks, because at this point, asking elderly people to volunteer, which is the group from which the food banks draw most of their support, is less satisfactory. And if younger people want to volunteer, they should volunteer for either of our 2 food banks. Now, the third question I want to answer is, what am I doing as your Member of Parliament representing the Royal Town? Well, I've been speaking to a number of local stakeholders, and I will continue to arrange regular phone updates. I've spoken today to the people who are running the National Health Service. I've visited Good Hope twice in the last week, and the last 10 days, and I've seen clear evidence of very good preparations for coronavirus. I will be speaking to them, to charities and other concerned individuals, and of course those running community groups and the food banks. I'm in daily conversations with the relevant ministers across the government, and further government advice will be available later today. The Secretary of State for Health, Matt Hancock, will be giving an update on the coronavirus situation in Parliament at approximately 5:30. Now, my office continues to operate as normal, although we are receiving quite a high volume of correspondence at the moment. And if you have any specific inquiries or queries you want to raise, please continue to email me at andrew.mitchell.mp@parliament.uk. That's andrew.mitchell.mp@parliament.uk. And if this video is helpful, I'll continue to post regular updates. And in particular, as a community in the Royal Town, we must look after each other, keep an eye out for each other, and the community spirit, which informs so much that happens in the Royal Town, we need it more than ever at the moment, and we must continue to support it very strongly indeed. Thank you.